Manhattan Beach, California. Another week, another awesome opportunity to share some wisdom, some information, and really just part of my own journey with all of you. What I will speak about today is being a servant of spirit. Now, what does that look like to being a servant of spirit? Often when we look at that word servant, when we look at that word of serving others, or if historically we look at servant, sometimes there's some negative connotation that comes with that, of serving others and the demise that we experience when we look at historical text around that. So what if we shift that space of being a servant of spirit? Now when I say spirit, I really am speaking of a space of God, of intuition, of true knowingness from within. That space of spirit has no connection to good or bad. It has no connection to the kind or cruel. It just knows true love, true accountability, true space of really being integrity to inside. I was working today with a few clients, and this came up a lot in our conversation of really, there's that saying, a teacher of mine has said, the pain will continue to push you until the vision pulls you. So I talked about, and who said that was Reverend Michael Beckwith, a really powerful spiritual leader and somebody I've been listening to and studying with for many years. What that resonates the most with me is that essence of the vision pulling you. So when you become a servant of spirit, it's really allowing this spirit, this vessel of God, of luminosity, moving through you in the way in which you show up in the world. So what does that look like? Because I like to really apply what it is I'm referencing into our world, into our level to be accountability with ourselves, with the people around us. So to be a servant of spirit means that every day we ask ourselves how, with all the resources, the information, the experiences, everything that you or I have been through in our world, how can I be of greatest service to the people around me? How can I truly be a servant of God, a servant of spirit in how I show up? See, when I was working, and I continue, when I was working out at sea as a navigator, when I was doing work that I learned a trade, that I learned something that was very specific. Now I can go back to that specific work and just get by and just do life and be okay with it. But I knew when I was out in that world, that wasn't really what my soul, my inner knowing was calling me towards. It wasn't really what I felt inspired to share. Yeah, I learned a lot of great lessons and I had great awarenesses that came through with that. However, at the end of the day, I felt a little bit of a void, a space that I wanted to do more with my time and energy on Earth. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, the year, the decade, the lifetime, asking yourself the question of, did I really serve today? Did I really serve others in the knowledge in this lifetime? Did I really give everything, all the resources I had to be a beneficial presence on the planet? And if the answer is yes for you, then by all means, that's amazing. And continue in the direction you're going. But if this is stirring up some questions of maybe you feel like there's something more inside of you that you want to give, and you don't necessarily know the directions, or you're feeling yourself numb or filled with the addictive personalities of drugs or alcohol or sex, or all these things that numb us away from really stepping into the love from inside. And in doing so, and really making that decision, it requires stepping outside our comfort. See, it's easy to live a life in our comfort zone. It's easy to live a life that is just, hey, we learn this trade, we learn this tool, I'm working for the man, or going to work, doing the 9 to 5, and if that's great, that's amazing. And if you feel fulfilled by that, if your soul feels fulfilled by that work, then continue on. But if you feel an inkling that you want something more, then be willing to ask yourself, a question of integrity, a question of willingness inside to stand forth for what you truly believe in. Step outside the comfort zone of your own life. Step outside the comfort of what you know and be willing to really get tuned into what that wisdom is right in here. Not what's in here. Because remember, and I've said this many times, that really the heart is the master, is the navigator. The mind is a co-navigator. And in taking that reality, let the perceptions of the mind come to balance so that the heart speaks true in integrity. And so that you become and you are that servant of spirit, that servant of love, just sharing. And all of the worries about finances, about whether or not you're good enough, or whether or not you think you have enough, or whether or not you think you're going to get enough. All these questions about enoughness and all that begins to dwindle away when you simply ask yourself the question, how, with all of the resources, all of the experiences I have, you have in your life, can you wake up every morning and say, Spirit, God, how can I serve today? How can I give and really receive in a space of love, in a space of not needing to change anyone, not needing to fragment someone's individual experience as either good or bad, or your own individual experience as either good or bad. Sifting away the judgments and the misinterpretations and all that stuff that just no longer serves you. And get clear, crystal clear on this. And you do that. I do that when I take a step outside the comfort of what I know. When I take a step in the direction of my heartfelt dreams. When I take a step in the direction. Because spirit, that essence of serving others, that space of spirit, meets us at our point of action. So if we feel the propensity, if we feel the desire to take an action step in the direction of what truly is our heartfelt dreams, then Spirit, the universe, meets us with all the things that we need to make that dream a reality. And the resulting factor is that we grow, we evolve. And what do we grow and evolve into? A deeper, more profound, loving being. An individual that fluctuates and has a greater frequency of love in all of the experiences in our world, in our relationship, at work, with our family, with our mind, with our vocation, all of these different areas of life, we show up in a deeper space of loving when we're being that servant of spirit to really show up, get paid very well to do so, help a lot of people no matter what it is, no matter what it may be, of just saying, how can I serve you? How can I help? And asking that question most importantly to yourself. Because the more that I'm clear in the foundation and the confidence of my own abilities to serve and to help and to be a beneficial presence, then the more I have to give to others, the more I have the availability, literally the time and space awareness in my mind to be of a greater beneficial presence on the planet. And that looks different for every single one of us because we all have a very unique intelligence. We have a unique value system. We have a unique structure that frames us as who we are. And when we take all of that availability, we take all that strength and really just propel that into our world, into our life, into our dreams and desires, and take the skills to really dissolve the emotions that come through with it when we make that decision, then we just get pulled slowly along by that servant space of spirit because we're in deep space of loving. So let that sit in. Let everything I just shared with you really take effect into your world, into your life, and let it just be a new way to start your day tomorrow, to say, Lord, God, Spirit, how may I serve today? How can I be and share the deep level of resonance and loving inside of your heart? It takes great courage. It takes great courage to do that. But I know each and every one of you have that courage, and that's what humanity as a whole has it. So be willing to set the example for your friends. Be willing to set the example for others, and do so with love and integrity and a great space of inner profound peace. Thank you all for your loving, for your unique energy that you give into the world, because that's what makes this world so dynamic, so diverse, and so damn beautiful. Aloha. Namaste.